Okay, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. This is Nicole Pagan from Horizons Foundation. Thank you very much for joining us today for the Give Out Day 2021 Introduction and New Resources webinar. We are super excited by the number of participants today. Please note that this webinar will be recorded and distributed after the webinar is over. I think we'll be getting it out to you tomorrow. Curtis, can you please confirm?
Yep.
Great. Okay, and just to let you know, if you have questions, you can either click the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and that will launch and you can type questions in there, or you can also use the chat box. We will try to take answers at the end, unless it makes sense to answer them while we are going. And we might actually answer your questions as we're going along. So please just type anything in there and we will respond to that after the presentation. As I said, my name is Nicole Pagan. I'm the program officer at Horizons Foundation, and I also am the program manager for the Give Out Day campaign. My pronouns are she, her, and I will let Curtis introduce himself.
Great. Hi, everybody. My name's Curtis LaHaye. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the Director of Communications at Horizons Foundation. And this will be my third year participating in Give Out Day.
Hi, I'm Vivian Pina, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a communications intern at Horizons Foundation focused on Give Out Day.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dawn Nolte, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am the project manager on the Mighty Cause side of things for Give Out Day.
Okay, so a little bit about us. Horizons Foundation is the world's first LGBTQ community foundation. We celebrated our 40th anniversary last year. We've been involved with Give Out Day from the very beginning in 2012. We took it over as the administrators in 2016, and I've been running the program ever since. I'm super excited to have my colleagues on the phone, on the webinar with us. And also, as Dawn mentioned, she's from Mighty Cause, and Mighty Cause is the fantastic organization that provides the Give Out Day platform and fundraising pages that you will use for your campaign. Okay, so our agenda today, we're going to go over the basics and impact of Give Out Day. We'll talk about eligibility requirements and registration. We'll cover the benefits of participation, and then we'll get into some of the more really meaty stuff. Dawn will introduce a technology platform, and we will introduce the new support resources that we have available for you this year, and then take questions at the end. Okay, so Give Out Day is the only national day of giving for the LGBTQ community. We have participants from all over the country, including some of the US territories like Puerto Rico. The campaign the Give Out Day this year is going to be on June 30th. But as we did last year, we're going to be running a whole Pride Month campaign. So you can take advantage of the fact that people know that June is Pride Month, and we'll be sort of looking for ways that they can tap into that, given, as we suspect, we probably won't be back to live gatherings by June, given the course of the pandemic as we're at it at this point. One of the really fabulous things about Give Out Day is that it really fosters a peer-to-peer model of fundraising. We're going to go over how you can recruit fundraisers who reach out to their networks to give. What's important about this is that, who are you more likely to give to? If I call you up randomly and ask you to give money to my organization, or if your friend, parent, son, daughter, coworker tells you about an amazing organization that they know about and they have benefited from and asks you to give for them. So we're going to cover more about the peer-to-peer model later in the webinar. Okay, impact. So you can see how Give Out Day has grown from 2016 to 2020. That first year we raised about $550,000. We've just about tripled that last year. And that's only part of the story. Not on this graph are the number of donors. The Give Out Day donor list at this point is over 40,000 people in the years that it has been active. Last year we saw 20,000 or a little bit over 20,000 individuals giving, and that's non-duplicative people. And in the first year it was about 8,000. So as you can see, the Give Out Day has increased in impact over the years. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about the eligibility requirements. The primary thing is that you need to be an LGBTQ primary nonprofit registered with the IRS as a 501c3 organization. That's because you're taking in donations, and the donations are tax deductible, and that's the reason for that status being necessary. There are some ways that you can join if you don't have that status. If you're a fiscally sponsored organization, we have a number of those who participate every year. That means that you have a fiscal sponsor who is a 501c3 that has agreed to act as the fiduciary for your organization. This also includes artists and filmmakers. Every year we have some arts projects that are LGBTQ focused, or people who are creating a documentary or a film or a short film about LGBTQ issues. So if you're one of those and you have a fiscal sponsor, you are completely eligible to join us, and we hope that you will. You can also be a program exclusively serving an LGBTQ community that's housed within a larger nonprofit. An example of that would be, say there is a mental health organization that sort of broadly does mental health for everybody, but they have a very specific program that is focused on LGBTQ mental health. Then they would be able to fundraise for that particular program or project. And then lastly, if you are a chapter of PFLAG, GSA, or GLSEN, and they act as your fiscal sponsor, you're able to participate. And if you are one of those organizations but have your own 501c3 status, then you can also participate. One of the things about being a 501c3 organization in the United States is that's a registration with the United States IRS. So if you're outside of the US, but you have a fiscal sponsor who is a 501c3 organization, nonprofit, then you are able to participate. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability for organizations that don't have a fiscal sponsor that are outside of the US to participate at this time. Okay, so for registration, it's pretty quick and easy. I'm going to quickly drop in a link into the chat that will take you directly to the registration page. So you can do that if you haven't already done it. It just takes about 2 minutes to register. If you are brand new to Give Out Day, you just need to claim your organization and register. There will be a approval that needs to happen on the backside, but that should happen very quickly. Returning orgs do need to register again. So if you participated in Give Out Day 2020, then you already have an account. So you don't need to register an account again, but we do need you to fill out the registration form, which is the form where we collect information about your organization and also lets us determine what leaderboards and power hours you might be eligible for. We will cover those a little bit later, but we need that information yearly because the mix of leaderboards and power hours changes, and some of them are based on budgets. So we'll cover that in a minute. All right, so here's a quote from a past Give Out Day participant. The Give Out Day concept and platform are such helpful fundraising tools. This style of fundraising was not traditional for us, but when we trusted and used the suggestions advised, we saw success our first year without a lot of effort, and even met a new major donor who maintained a relationship with us over the years. And this is from Ain Thompson from Out in the Open. I hope I did not mangle your name. So yeah, that's just one of the great things about Give Out Day is you have the opportunity to introduce yourself to new donors. Okay, so as I mentioned, new donors are one of the benefits of participation. Like I said, last year we saw over 20,000 donors make donations to our nonprofit partners. It's a great way to expand your network. We'll cover the peer-to-peer stuff that helps with that a little bit later. We'd mentioned leaderboards. This year we have confirmed the 3 national leaderboards. These are ways for organizations to sort of compete to raise additional funds. We recognize that there's varying capacity with the organizations. So the national leaderboards are divided up into 3 different categories based on your budget size. The small budget is any organization under 100,000. The medium goes from 100K to I believe it's 600,000, and then anything over 600,000 for the large. Those details are on the prizes page on the Give Out Day website if you want to look a little bit more deeply into that. We will have more leaderboards that we'll announce in the course of the next couple of months. And then we also have power hours. Both our leaderboards and power hours are based on the number of donors that you raise in the time period, or the number of donors that you engage in the time period versus dollars raised. This way it's a little bit more equitable, so you don't have an organization with a major donor who comes in and makes, a $20,000 gift. And it's really about building community. So we're trying to engage people to give to your organizations and to continue to be involved with you. The power hours happen at various times in the day, and those will also be based on the number of donors that you receive in that particular hour. Okay, so more of the benefits of participation. There's no participation fee at all. You don't have to pay to have an account. You don't have to pay to sign up. There are some transaction fees associated with the gifts coming in. That's usual for any online gift processing terminal. There's also a bunch of visibility that comes, and it's also tied to community. These 2 things, it's a way for your organization to take advantage of the fact that there is a conversation about Give Out Day happening. It sort of raises the visibility of all of the work of all of the LGBTQ nonprofits that are participating, and the building community aspect. I talked about the number of donors that we engage every year. There are about a little over 500 nonprofits currently registered through Give Out Day. Last year, we saw over 500 folks set up an individual fundraiser. So it's a way to be in community from afar. That's particularly prescient right now, given we're all mostly at home. And taking advantage of the fact that people are thinking about pride and how they can show their pride in the LGBTQ community during a month where they would generally be doing that in person is another really great way for us all to be in community together. Okay. More benefits of participation. It's built on a fantastic technology platform. I'll let Dawn go into that a little bit later. But the platform gives you a lot of ways that you can fundraise. You can fundraise directly for your organization. There are peer-to-peer fundraisers that are possible. It integrates with social media. So there's ways to help raise your profile as folks are donating. So yeah, it's a great platform. It's really easy to use. It's easy for you as an administrator as well as for donors to make the gift. And there are a couple of different ways that you can receive support. There is a fabulous learning center and support bot that were built out this year for y'all that we will be talking about a little bit later. And there is also support from Mighty Cause if there are issues around your account or something's going wrong with your page. And then there's also a bunch of support for how to engage donors, run a Give Out Day campaign, and all of those various aspects. Okay, and now I think I'm handing over to Dawn.
Yes, thanks, Nicole.
You're welcome.
So Mighty Cause is just, we're really excited to partner with Give Out Day again. And I wanted to just kind of run through a couple of the features that you get with your accounts. If you participated in Give Out Day last year, then all you need to do is register again for Give Out Day. You're already set up on the site. You can go in and reset your page metrics to showcase just the amount raised for Give Out Day. You're also able to make any changes to your profile or get new fundraisers signed up and on your account as well if needed. So with organizations that are new for Give Out Day, it's really easy to get set up on the site. If you're a 501c3 nonprofit, then all you have to do is search for yourself within the Give Out Day registration, and the claiming aspect and all that good stuff is built right in. So once you get in, you'll have access to a lot of different information. And Curtis, if you could go to the next slide with the kind of little like overview GIF, that would be great. So within your Give Out Day account, you get lots and lots of features and functionality. You'll see here there's a dashboard where you can access your profile, different fundraising campaigns. You can set up teams or individual fundraisers if you want. You also have the ability to totally customize the checkout flow for your donors. So if you have different questions you want to ask them or information you want to collect, you're able to do that right through your account. You can customize the thank you page that your donors see after they make their gift, as well as the email that's automatically sent out once the transaction's complete. And then with your organization account for Give Out Day, you also have access to different tools like creating your own matching grants, and you can create your own fundraiser templates. So there's lots and lots of features and functionality. And like Nicole said, we're here to support you in the technology piece. If you have any questions or having any trouble with your account, our support team is here to help as well. So we just want, we are obviously trying to set you all up for success. So please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. And again, we're really excited to partner with Give Out Day for this year and are really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dawn. So the last benefit of participation that Nicole listed was support. And, Dawn has talked about a support available for Mighty Cause, but there are tons of support resources available. So, now that we've covered, a lot about who can participate and, Nicole listed a bunch of benefits of participation, a very big question that I'm sure is, still really on your mind, and that is, how do you actually run a successful campaign? For folks who are new to Give Out Day, where do you start in your campaign? What are your first steps? For folks who are returning to Give Out Day, how do you take your campaign to the next level? How do you increase the chances of winning prizes? That's what we're going to talk about next. So to answer those questions, in past years, we've held a series of webinars, and those webinars covered specific topics, one on communications, one on peer-to-peer, et cetera. And we also offered some, basic resources and some toolkit, like a toolkit and a couple templates. But we recognized this year that, that was not enough, that, not everyone was able to attend these webinars at the scheduled times. And you all should be able to access training and get the tools you need when and how you want them. We really wanted to take our support for Give Out Day organizations to the next level. So that is the thinking behind our brand new resource this year called the Give Out Day Learning Center. So the Learning Center contains a variety of different courses with a number of different lessons, and I'll show you those in a moment. These lessons are multimedia lessons, so they have text and graphics, but they also have video with voice recordings to make these lessons really accessible and to support different styles of learning. These lessons are short, they're digestible, They each take from just a few minutes to no more than about 10 minutes to complete each. And you can complete all of the lessons in the entire Give Out to Learning Center in a matter of a few hours. So these lessons cover everything you need in order to run a successful campaign. That means some of the basics of participating, all the details about the prizes, all the details about the platform, everything that it goes into depth about everything Don was just talking about in terms of how to use the platform on the Mighty Cause side. It gives a really great checklist and timeline to make sure you're on track, tells you where you should be at every moment. It gives really great tips and best practices, as well as templates and content calendars. It gives tons of examples from previous successful campaigns. And you can also sign up to receive lesson reminders so that you can get emails with the lessons delivered to your inbox at a pace that works for you. If you decide you want these lesson reminders to stop, if you want to change the frequency of the lesson reminders, if you want to jump to a different lesson, you can easily update your preferences for those emails. You can complete the lessons all at once, or you can spread them out, whatever you need. But in order to most effectively use the Learning Center, you first have to create a Learning Center account. This Learning Center account is separate from your Give Out Day account on Mighty Cause. So make sure to create a Learning Center account too. So my colleague Nicole is going to put a link into the chat to create a Learning Center account. So please click on it, open it in your browser. It takes 2 seconds to create an account if you don't have one already. Of course, like all of Give Out Day, it's 100% free. It's easy and it's designed to support you. So after this webinar, if you haven't already, register for Give Out Day, which was the first link that Nicole shared, and then also create a Learning Center account, which is the link she's sharing now. So the reason why you need to create an account for the Learning Center is so you can track your progress through the lessons. If you've created a Learning Center account, once you've completed all the lessons, you can claim a completion certificate. And the first 50 organizations that have someone in their organization claim a certificate will be featured in a blog post that we share on our various channels, which can boost your visibility. But really the main reason to create an account is to have access to the training content and the resources, which can really strengthen your campaign. So just to give you a quick look at the Learning Center and what it contains, here are its 5 courses. The first is Give Out Day 101, which provides an introduction to the campaign. Then the second is called Crafting Your Campaign Foundation, which goes over the fundamentals in terms of your fundraising page and settings. It goes over a lot of the things that Don was talking about in terms of the details of the platform. The third course is called The Secret to Success Peer-to-Peer, which in my opinion is the most important course. Nicole was mentioning the peer-to-peer model of Give Out Day, and how we see that organizations that leverage this peer-to-peer model, in which basically you recruit folks to create fundraisers on behalf of your organization, those folks tend to be the most successful organizations. So this is a really great course to check out to learn all about that. The next course on communication strategy, about how to use all the different communications channels. And then finally, this last course on some advanced strategies around matching grants, events, and retaining your donors after the campaign ends. So for this webinar, we received over 50 questions from folks, and nearly every single question that folks had about Give Out Day, the answer to those questions could be found in one of these courses. So I imagine whatever questions you have about Give Out Day can be found there as well. So again, if you haven't already, click on that link to create a Learning Center account, sign up for lesson reminders, which you can do at the same time as creating the account, and you can start the training. We know that organizations that start planning early, right now in February, several months before the campaign starts, those organizations tend to be the most successful. So I encourage you to go through the Learning Center training as soon as you can, get started with planning, get started executing this year's campaign. So now I'll let my colleague Vivian to share more about one particular aspect of the Learning Center.
Yeah, so included within the Learning Center are different variations of the Give Out Day logos that can be used in graphics and imagery across your different social media or just media outlets. And included with that, there are also template graphics that can be used as is or customized to fit the exact messaging, such as including a logo or adding your own message. And they are available in PNGs and in Photoshop documents for that easy customization that you might want.
Thanks, Vivian. So within the Learning Center, there are a few additional support resources that I want to make sure you know as well. And Nicole hinted about them a bit earlier. So we've always offered support via email, both from the Give Out team and Horizons, and then through the Mighty Cause support email as well. But now there's also a handy form that you can fill out to send us a note really easily, and we'll get back to you via email if you fill out that form. And that form is linked within the Learning Center. So something new and really exciting this year, since we aren't doing a series of webinars like we did last year, and since we're kind of instead focused on the Learning Center, we wanted to create another way for you to receive one-on-one, really individualized support. So that's why we created the Give Out Day office hours. So these office hours start next Wednesday, February 17th. And they take place every Wednesday through Give Out Day. They're at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So the best way to take advantage of office hours is to schedule a 10-minute support appointment on Zoom, which you can do through a link in the Learning Center after you create a Learning Center account. Once you create a Learning Center account, navigate to the Learning Center. There's in the menu, it says more support. You click on that, you navigate to a link where you can schedule an appointment. When you schedule an appointment, you can fill out, the question that you have, what you want to cover, so we can be best prepared to support you. So the first half of office hours are these scheduled appointments, so 3 10-minute appointments in that first half hour, and those appointments are open now for people who want to schedule them. But then the second half hour and the second half of the hour are open office hours. So anyone can come in during those open office hours, and we provide support on a first come, first served basis. So the last new support resource is really cool that I wanted to highlight. It's called the Give Out Day Support Bot, which Nicole mentioned a little bit earlier. So it's a link within the Learning Center account. After you create a Learning Center account and you navigate to the Learning Center, you can again click that more support menu and find the support bot. And when you navigate to that link, it opens up an automated chat bot where you can ask tons of our most frequently asked questions and get directed to the right response and to the Learning Center lessons where you can learn more. The support bot can also direct you to the email contact form and to the page where you can schedule an office hours appointment. So now, how do you decide which of these various support methods you should use? First, you should create a Learning Center account and complete all the training. If you still have questions, you can head to the support bot and see if your answer is there. If you can't find an answer, if you think it's a straightforward question, you can fill out the email support team to receive support over email. You can also email the Mighty Cause support team if your question is a technical platform-based question. And if you have a complex question or want us to take a look at something or view something, if something you think would require a longer, deeper conversation, then you can take advantage of office hours and schedule an appointment. So now really quickly, I wanted to show you what the support bot looks like. First, to ask you what your question is about, you choose a topic, whether it's donations, prizes, the platform, fundraising strategy, communication strategy, etc. Once you choose your topic, it asks you what your question is. It's just showing some of them, but you can click that arrow and you'll see all the rest of the questions in that topic. And then it gives you your answer. In addition to the answer itself, it'll provide a link where you can learn more, and that directs you to the relevant Learning Center lesson. At the end, it asks you if you need anything else from the support bot, and that'll let you schedule an office hours appointment or direct you to the email contact form as well. So now, in terms of next steps, first, you want to navigate to the 2 links that Nicole put in the chat. First, to register for Give Out Day, and then second, to create a Learning Center account. And then you'll complete the Learning Center training. And as you complete that training, you'll find really clear instructions on how to set up your profile, how to use the platform, and that can be your next step afterwards. So now I'm going to hand it back to Nicole to moderate any questions folks might have. Nicole, you're on mute.
I clicked my button on the microphone, not on the computer. So yeah, now we will answer questions. Thank you, Curtis, Vivian, and Dawn for your wonderful information. So I'm going to start with one of the issues folks were recognizing in the chat, which is that you can't see the participants list. And I was telling you to roll over the bottom of your screen. I can see it. I'm not sure why you all aren't able to see it as participants. But that's just a list. Basically, it's just everybody's first name on a screen. But you should still be able to see the chat. I know that some of you were typing in there, and also the Q&A. So let me go back to the first question that we got in the chat box, which is, so is registering with Mighty Cause required for Give Out Day donations? No, if you want to participate in Give Out Day and not use the Give Out Day platform, you can go ahead and do that, use the hashtags, use the materials, the strategies, all of that. We would just ask that you let us know the next day the number of donors and the dollar amount that you raise, so we can sort of keep track of all of that. The one caveat is that in order to be on the leaderboards, the gifts do have to be on the Mighty Cause platform. So there is a way for organizations to manually load in gifts that they received either from another platform or via check or some way that's not an online gift. And the leaderboards will be based on unique donor information. So we will need first name, last name, and email address to determine that that is actually a unique donor. Right. So, and then go ahead, Curtis.
Just to add to that really quickly, although it's an option to use some other platform, we really recommend using the Give Out Day platform, using Mighty Cause. The principal reason is, about the prizes. I mean, that's one of the primary benefits of participation, and making sure that you kind of use the platform. It kind of really confirms that your donations are automatically kind of showing up and counting towards the leaderboards. And the offline donation process is manual, so it's a little bit more difficult. But it's still an option, but that's our recommendation.
Okay. Let's see. Somebody asked if the webinar was being recorded and if you will receive it via email. The answer to both of those is yes. Scrolling. What is being done with the donor information that is being collected? Do you all use it later on? We at Horizons Foundation only use it a couple of times a year in order to remind folks about Give Out Day or thank them for being a Give Out Day donor. You have access to all of your donor information and reports. One of the other benefits of using the Give Out Day platform is one of the built-in reports is your retention report from year to year, so you can see which donors are coming back. So that's a really great feature of that. We never solicit any of the Give Out Day donors for Horizons or for Give Out Day gifts specific to us or to any particular organization. It's basically just as a, letting them know that it's happening again and thanking them if they made a gift in the current year. So there's a question about the recurring donations. Is there a way that we can shut that off on the payment platform? Unfortunately, no, that is not something that you can shut off. It does default to a one-time gift. So what we recommend is just to not, if you don't want to have recurring gifts go through the Give Out Day platform, just don't push that as part of your campaign. or, you know, you're able to see when those are set up. So if you want to reach out to the donor, you'll have their information and you can direct them to where else it would be a better place to do the monthly gift to you after the Give Out Day donation comes in. Then, you know, you can direct them to that. Okay. Can we have a check cut with the funds once they are all raised, or does it have to be sent electronically to us? Yes, you can actually receive a check. There's a fee for cutting of the check. I believe it's $5. If you do the electronic deposits, there are 2 deposits that happen over the course of the month. And if you do a check, then you will just get 1 check for all of the gifts following the day. To confirm that our organization is actually registered, we receive an email only, or is there a way to check online to make sure that we are registered? You will receive an email. You can check online to see if you're registered by going to the Give Out Day site and searching for your organization. If you see that you have a page there, that means that you're registered in terms of having an account. We do still need you to fill out the registration form, which collects the leaderboard and other information that we need about your organization from year to year.
And I can jump in really quick too, Nicole. Okay. You can also see if you're registered for the 2021 Give Out Day event if you go into your account and go to your overview screen, which is the first option in your dashboard. That will say right at the top, you are registered for Give Out Day. And if you're not registered, then it will say registration is open for Give Out Day. So you'll be able to tell right there whether or not you're registered. And you can always email or ask the support teams too if you're registered, and we can always check for you as well.
Okay, so just as a quick point of order, I noticed that some folks are typing their question both in the chat box and the question and answer. If you could just type it into one or the other, that would be great. So that way we don't repeat answering the same question as I'm running through them. Okay, so there's a question here. Okay, so I'm a new development coordinator. Basically the question is, there's a recurring gift that was set up from last year, and they want to know if the monthly donation will count as part of the Give Out Day campaign this year or not. Dawn, I think that's a question for you.
Yeah, so if you have a recurring donation set up on the platform, if the recurring donation runs during Give Out Day, then yes, it will count towards your Give Out Day leaderboard numbers. And we always recommend, you know, if you have someone who set up a recurring donation, it doesn't hurt to ask them to give again especially since there's an early giving phase for Give Out Day. Obviously, you know, the more money you're able to raise, the merrier. So if the, again, if the recurring gift does like go through during the Give Out Day early giving or the Give Out Day day, then yes, it will count towards this year's event.
Okay, this is not really a question, but somebody wrote this in the chat box, and it's pertinent, so I'll share it. That Mighty Cause takes a % of the payment on the recurring donations, and it causes work for the development person to have to add the donations each month to their database, and that they had to cancel a few recurring donations they received through the Mighty Cause platform because of that. So yes, that's all of that is true. As I said, if you don't highlight the recurring gift, we find most donors don't change the default from one time only unless you are specifically asking them for recurring gifts through the Mighty Cause for the Give Out Day campaign. How much is taken out for transaction fees and the percentage? Dawn, do you know that off the top of your head? I know it's in the FAQ.
I'm going to that FAQ right now.
Okay. There's a transaction fee for the credit card processing. There's a platform transaction fee. Horizons doesn't take any part of the transaction fees at all. We fundraise to make Give Out Day possible, so we are not taking any part of the donations that come in.
Okay, I got it. So there is the platform and the credit card fees combined are 4.9% plus 30 cents. And then donors do have the option to cover your fees as well. And most donors do choose to cover your fees. So your cost will be less than that. But like Nicole mentioned, the exact breakdown and information about that is located within the FAQs on the Give Out Day site.
And FYI, the default is for the donor to cover the fees, so they can uncheck that if they don't want to cover the fees, but we find that 80 to 90% of the donors do actually cover the fees. Let's see. Is all tax deductibility information sent directly to the donors at the time of the gift? Yes, they receive an email just a template email from Mighty Cause letting them know that it's tax deductible. You are able to add other language to that if you want in your checkout flow, and that's one of the things that's covered in one of the Learning Center lessons. Let's see. Would the Give Out Day social media accounts be willing to share our organization's posts? We hope to plan a virtual event and would love to promote it to everyone who might be interested. If so, is there a best way for us to submit our posts to the social media team for easy sharing? I think Curtis and Vivian, I'll let you handle that.
Yeah, I can answer that. So there's not a way to kind of submit your event to be posted. We do occasionally support specific organizations, but the way to guarantee that we'll feature your organization, like I mentioned earlier, if you create a Learning Center account and claim your completion certificate after you've completed all the lessons, the first 50 organizations will be guaranteed to be featured in a blog post. So that's the way to make sure of that.
Okay, I'm going to switch from the chat to the question and answer. I'll go back to the chat questions in a minute, but there's a bunch in the question and answer I want to get to as well. If you already have an account with Mighty Cause, will my organization's information and thank you script appear if a donor donates through Horizons? Yes, they will, as long as you have registered for the Give Out Day campaign. That's part of the registration form that you fill out to participate from year to year. Your page will be mirrored across any of the Mighty Cause Giving Days that you are registered for, and their platform as well. Let's see, does that mean we have all month like 2020 or just the one day for donations to come in? So yes, the entire month of Pride, the entire month of June for 2021, the gifts that come in that month will count towards the leaderboards. The leaderboard totals will not be showing until the day of the event. So anything that comes in from June 1st through 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on June 30th will count toward the leaderboard totals. Go ahead.
I was just going to say to add to that a little bit. We find that organizations are most successful if they in fact are fundraising the entire month. So even though this campaign culminates on June 30th on Give Out Day, a donation made on June 1st counts in the same way as a donation made on June 30th. You can start recruiting fundraisers and planning your campaign, before June, and then it's June, the entire month of June where donations count for the prizes.
Okay. Have you changed any of the rules? Last year, there were issues with people offering t-shirts for donations. Yeah, there actually have been 2 rule changes. So, it was always a rule that you shouldn't do raffles, t-shirts, event tickets, because it's an entirely tax deductible gift, which means that there can't be any good or service that is exchanged for that gift. So we ask that you not run promotions like that as part of Give Out Day, and we'll just be in touch with you if we find anybody doing that. The other rule change is respective to offline donations. If you're entering an offline donation, it should just be a donation that's come in as an ask for your Give Out Day campaign. So if you have monthly donors already on your own platform, or membership fees that happen on a monthly basis or anything like that, we ask that you not upload those to the offline donations. It should just be pure Give Out Day gifts. Next question. What is being done with donor information that is being collected? As I mentioned before, Horizons, we do collect the information. You have access to all of your donors' information. We only use it to message them about Give Out Day. So we never share or sell the lists or anything like that. We're a bit confused as to who financially benefits. Does our LGBTQ organization, Horizons, or both? It's just the Give Out Day partners that are the Give Out Day organizations that are benefiting from Give Out Day. Horizons is not fundraising at all. As I mentioned before, we do not keep any part of the transaction fees. And because we fundraise through foundations and other donor partners to offer the prizes and to be able to put on Give Out Day every year. Why does there need to be a separate registration for the Learning Day? It seemed better to have access to logo info all in one place as it was last year. Why did you do this separately this year?
I can answer that. So we wanted to create a really robust kind of suite of tools, and we couldn't do that just using the Mighty Cause platform. We needed to have a separate platform for that. But creating an account on the Learning Center is really simple and straightforward. And you'll find that the tools and resources there are far more robust than they were on the page on the Give Out Day site previously.
Okay. Is there a list of other orgs who participate that we can contact for them to share their experiences? You can search all of the organizations that are part of Give Out Day are on the website. So you can search keywords or search for category types that match your organization or by area to see other organizations and be in touch with them if you want to. We don't have a specific outlet for that. Other than that, we will be hosting a panel in about a month or so, a panel webinar that is going to bring together several partners from Give Out Day organizations who participated last year or the year before, or have participated multiple times, who were successful, and have them talk a little bit about their strategy and stuff like that. So you will have the opportunity to learn from some of your peers during that.
So I'll also add that one of the kind of exciting features of the Learning Center lessons is that throughout a lot of the lessons, there are examples from organizations, examples of things they've done, quotes they have with different tips and ideas. So you can learn directly from organizations by completing these lessons.
Is there a fee for continuing to use Mighty Cause for fundraising after Give Out Day is over? There's no fee to keep the account open. There are only the transaction fees that will happen for every transaction that is on the website. Hey, Donald, we're talking about that really quickly. Did you want to introduce the ACH option?
Oh, yes. So we do have several different payment options this year that are available to you. We have Apple Pay now. That we've integrated into the site, and then you are also able to donate via bank account. What we typically do is if a donor gives over a certain amount, we can default to bank account. That way it's cheaper because there is different transaction fees for the banking transactions, if you will, than there are for credit card. And we partner with Plaid to connect donors to their bank accounts to be able to make those donations for you. So there's lots of different ways that they can give. And similar to last year, we also still offer the ability for donors to donate via PayPal. And looking at the FAQ on the site regarding the transaction fees, that is a very good point. I don't see anything on there about the bank account information. And so I can go ahead and include that as well. So everyone has all the information.
Great, thank you. Next question, is there still a minimum for donations for Give Out Day this year? Yes, the minimum is $10. Okay. Are there any other fundraising events during the year that we would be able to participate in? Not through Horizon specifically. There is Giving Tuesday later in the year. And there are various giving days around the country that are happening all of the time. There could be one that's local to your state or region. So I would encourage you to look into those as well. When should we start posting our campaign?
Okay, I can answer that one. One of the features of the Learning Center is that has lots of sample content calendars of when you should, post different types of communications. There's also a one of the lessons is specifically a checklist and a timeline that tells you, when you should be doing all these different things. So you'll be able to find the answers. You'll be able to find the answers to that there.
Okay, any specific hints for an ally participating for a favorite LGBTQ organization?
I can take that one as well. Everyone is able to create a fundraiser that's part of the kind of peer-to-peer model. Whether allies or LGBT folks can create those fundraisers and fundraise on behalf of an organization, unless you're asking about an organization rather than an individual. But regardless, any folks can create fundraisers.
Okay, and then the last question in the question and answer box at this time is, will we be able to use the Mighty Cause Salesforce integration for Give Out Day?
I can go ahead and take that one. So Melissa brings up a good point. We this year also, what we have new, we have a MailChimp integration and a Salesforce integration. Those two integrations are part of our advanced subscription. So if you sign up for an advanced subscription, which is $99 a month with no contracts, then you are definitely able to utilize those two integrations for Give Out Day. We also offer free trials of the advanced subscription. And so if you wanted to go check that out as well, you could get free access to those tools. I believe it's for a week, but you're definitely welcome to check that out and let us know if you have any questions about either the free trial or the integrations and taking advantage of those for Give Out Day.
Okay, so there's a question I'm going back to the chat questions now. There's one asking us to clarify something about the recurring donor, that they must cancel the donation and the organization doesn't have that capability. Dawn, can you answer that?
Yes, so that's a great question. Correct. The way that the just rules are set up with the site and making donations and tax deductibility and all that good stuff, we prefer that the donors reach out to us to cancel their recurring donations. There are circumstances where we understand where that can be frustrating. And so if you as the nonprofit would like to cancel a recurring donation, we usually ask for a donor's permission to do that, and then we can definitely help out with that and cancel it, and kind of walk through that process so that it takes a burden off of you as the nonprofit if you do have someone who signed up for a recurring donation and you prefer them not to.
Okay, so there was a question that was, how do we get donors? Curtis, do you want to describe where in the Learning Center they can learn about that?
Yeah, so that's a big question that I can't answer in the remaining 1 or 2 minutes we have left here. But we find, like I was saying earlier, the best way that organizations are most successful is by leveraging the peer-to-peer model. There's a course in the Give It a Learning Center all about peer-to-peer, how to recruit fundraisers, how to set up fundraisers for success, how to communicate with fundraisers, and so on. So finding folks, whether it's your board members, your volunteers, your clients, big supporters, encouraging those folks to create fundraisers on behalf of your organization, and helping them reach out to their networks and ask their networks to give. That's going to be the biggest and best way to acquire new donors through this campaign. So I encourage you to check out that course to start.
Okay, so somebody wanted to know if PayPal is an option for processing payments.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Are there any tips to get a matching donor?
So I can answer that. So there, in the final Give Out Day Learning Center course, it's called Advanced Fundraising Strategies. There's a lesson specifically about matching grants, and there's tons of information there about how to secure those.
Somebody asked if the advanced subscription helps them to get more donors, and if so, how?
So the advanced subscription gives you more tools for your organization to be able to reach out, but the same, it really applies to what Curtis said about just getting donors in general. The additional tools that you receive help your organization communicate better. You can reach out a little more easily, and you can keep track of information within your account better. But it really just depends on what your organization does in terms of where you reach out, how often you reach out, utilizing those peer-to-peer tools that, you can get without the advanced subscription as well. Those are the types of things that are going to help you get more donors, as opposed to, saying, this one tool is definitely going to be able to do that. It really just depends on who your organization is reaching out to, and the methods of communication that you're using to really get the donors for Give Out Day.
Okay, is this happening in one day? So technically Give Out Day is June 30th, but as we've mentioned a couple of times, the entire month of Pride is part of the campaign. So we encourage you to utilize that entire time frame. Any gifts that come in from June 1st through June 30th will count towards the leaderboard competitions. I hope folks can stay around for just a couple more minutes. I understand if you can't, but there's a few more questions that we have to get through that I'd like to answer. And then if there is anything that wasn't covered today and you want to get in touch with us, please take advantage of any of the support options that we have included. And you can always reach out to us at giveoutday@horizonsfoundation.org. I'll put that in the chat in a minute. Let's see. I think that might be the end of the questions. Do we have anything else that folks would like to ask while we're here?
I see that there's one more question about advanced in the Q&A. Melissa asked if the donor transaction fee was the same if they decided to sign up for advanced, and yes, it will be the same. With advanced, you get the additional tools, but the transaction fee for Give Out Day is going to be the same.
Just scrolling through to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. If I did, if you put a question in and I haven't answered it, please type it in again really quickly, and I will try to get that answered for you while we're here. Otherwise, you can send us an email, as I mentioned. You can sign up for one of the office hours with us next week or any of the following weeks. Or you can look at the FAQ or any of the online support options as well. Okay, I think I answered this one already, but if you already have an account with Mighty Cause, will my organization's information and thank you script appear if a donor donates through Horizons? Yes. You have to register for the Give Out Day campaign, but that information will carry over from your Mighty Cause account. Okay, there's another new question. Oh no, it was just a thank you. Okay. I'm not seeing any other questions come in. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I know we covered a lot of information. It's all chunked out in very digestible bites in the Learning Center. So if there's anything you feel you missed, then please go check that out. And also, as I mentioned before, this has been recorded and we'll be sending it out. The link will also be available on the website later. So thank you, everybody. Curtis, anybody else have anything else they want to say in closing?
Nope, that's it. Thank you so much, everybody.
Great. We're looking forward to being in partnership with all of you this year. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we are here to help and support your campaign. So have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.